Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Peshawar Model School, Boys 3 Science Online class for class 4. Our previous lesson it was unit 4 about the characteristics of living things, in which we have discussed about the cells of living things and the ecosystem and the food chain. Now boys, today I'm going to recall the previous lesson also, and today we will do the written work on book and in copy also. Living things have 7 characteristics. These are those actions or those properties or those responses which are present only in living things, but they are not present in the non-living things. Living things, the thing which they need is breathing. It is respiration. They respire. For their respiration, they need oxygen. They obtain this oxygen by breathing in the air. This oxygen is already present in the air. They use oxygen for breathing. This is the very important process which is present in the living things. Without eating for a few days, living things can survive, but without breathing for a minute, living things can't survive, they will die. So the most important process without which a minute living things can't survive is the respiration or the breathing process. The next thing is that they continue their generation. Nowadays you can't see the species of dinosaurs and doo they disappear from the land now because they can't maintain to continue their generations. But today we don't have doo and dinosaurs because there is no more generation of them. All living things continue their generation by producing the babies. Birds have their own babies, animals have their own babies, same is the case with the human beings. Human beings also produce the babies, and plants, they continue their generation by producing the seeds. The seeds grow and they produce the plant from which these seeds belongs. So these things continue their generation after generation, and this is the way by which they keep survive in their environment and in the world. The next thing is that it growth is something about the body changes, how baby show changes in its body and how it become an adult and how it reaches the age of old. And these all changes occurs in the body of the living things. On the other hand, how seed start its growth, how it germinate and change into an adult plant, then it bear flowers and flowers produce fruit, and inside the fruit again they obtain the seed. These are the growths, and how roots grows towards the soil, and stem moves towards the light above the ground. These are the changes which occurs in their body, and these changes are known as the growth. Movement is another characteristic of the living thing. This movement is occurred by them, especially in the animal as a whole, from one place to another place. They do these movements in search of food, water, for their home, and to escape from the danger or from their enemies. So such type of movement are very visible, very clear in the animals, but such thing is can't present in plants. We can't see them moving from place to place. as their roots are fixed in the soil, they can't move, but there's certain parts from movement. The roots which grows towards the soil, these are the movement of the roots towards the soil, and the stem which grows towards the light, and the branches which grows towards the light, are these are the movement, these are the types of the movement in plants. Such movements are very slow, we can't them we can't observe them. Such movements take a long time. This is long term process, we can't see them, but these growth movements are present in the plants. They can't displace their play from their body from one place to another place, but there's certain parts grow which are the actually movement of the plant. The next thing is that they get rid or they remove the waste material from their body. Certain chemical reactions occurs in their body, as a result of which some products are made which are useful for them, but on the other hand other products are also made in their body which are totally useless. They don't need them, maybe they are poisoned, or maybe they, if they are stored in the body for a long time, they cause diseases in them, or they may cause harm to them. So there is a need to excrete them out from the body. The process which involve in the removal of the waste material from the body is called excretion. So living thing excrete the waste substances. There are three organs which are involved in this excretion process. Number one is kidneys, which help in the removal of the urine. Number two, there is another organ which is called skin, get rid or remove the sweat from the body along with the extra minerals which are present, extra salts which are present in the body and which body don't need them. And the third one is lungs, which involve in the removal of a gas, and the name of this gas is carbon dioxide. So these are the organs of excretion, and they help in the removal of these waste substances from the body, and such process occurs only in the living thing, and non-living thing can't do such processes. Now the next thing is that which you can differentiate them from the non-living thing is their sensitivity, how much they are sensitive to their environment. It means how they feel the change of the environment and how they react to them. These responses are called the feelings. Feelings is the sense, you can say that sense are the feelings. Human beings also have feelings, and the name of these feelings are sense. These feelings are received by the organs, and such organs which are responsible for receiving these feelings are called the sense organs. Human beings have five sense organs: nose, eyes, ears, tongue and skin. Animals have their strong senses, but on the other hand animal plants, they don't have such organs, but they still have some responses to the environment. The flower of sunflower plant are sensitive for the light, and they turn their face, the flowers turn their face towards the light of sun. This is how they react to the light of the sun. And the leaves of mimosa plant, they are sensitive for the touch. If you touch these leaves, their leaves closed, and after a few minutes the leaves open again. When you leave these leaves, the leaves open again once again. These are the feelings in the plants. The next thing is that living things need food. And why they need food? They need food to get energy, and this is the energy which they use for performing their life activities. So these are the 7 characteristics which are present only in the living things, and non-living things cannot do any of these actions or any of these properties. The next thing that living things have is that living things need air, water, food, light, and minerals. They can't live without these things, although they are non-living things. Air is non-living thing, water is non-living thing, food is non-living thing, light is non-living thing, and the salts which we call minerals are also non-living thing. But without them, living things can't survive. All these things are non-living things, but they affect the life of living things. Such kind of connections between living and non-living things are called ecosystem. The type of system in which living things and non-living things are connected with each other, they affect the life of each other, how they affect, how they depend on each other. Such thing make a system, and this system is called an ecosystem. Now boys, this is an ecosystem. In this ecosystem, as you have seen, there is light, air, water, soil. All these things are needed by the living things to live, to survive. If there is no water, then how living thing will survive? Without water they can't survive. If there is no plant and there is no soil, if there is no soil, then how plant will grow? And if there is no plant, then herbivores will never survive, and if herbivores never survive, then carnivores will automatically die out, and the omnivores, which uses both the carnivores and herbivores, they will disappear from the earth. So the surface of the earth will be free from the living things. Then how it will be possible? So there is a type of connection between them, and such kind of connection make an ecosystem. The ecosystem, here we are going to discuss a very simple food chain, how living things are connected with each other and how they depend on each other. This is the grasshopper, which use grass for as a food. This grasshopper may become the food of a frog, and this frog may become the food of a snake, and this snake in return may become the food of an eagle. So this is a very simple food chain. If we take out frog from this chain, then one of the food component of the snake will be disappear. There will be a there will come a deficiency in the food component of the snake. And if grasses are disappear, then how grasshopper will survive, and how they will remain alive more? So there will come a deficiency in the food of the frog. So frogs will also suffer from the same thing. They will also disappear from the environment. So this is simple food chain, but actually in the environment the food chain is not so simple. They eat a variety of things on the earth. If something is missing, they use another thing for their food. So such type of connection make a chain, and such chain is or series of link make a chain, and this chain is called food chain. Life cycle. Life cycle is defined as a series of changes in the life of an organism from birth to an adult. This is the stages. How baby change into a teenage, and a teenager change into an adult, and on the other hand how a seed change into seedling, and seedling change into a plant, and plant become adult bearing the flowers. These are the stages in the life of an organism, how these changes come in their life. This is called the life cycle. types of life cycles of insects are different from the animals and the plants. This is because they have one type of life cycle which are complete, and it has 4 stages, and the other cycle which are called incomplete, and it has 3 stages. The life cycle of fish are very simple. The egg hatches out a baby, and the name of this baby is Fry. It is not much different from the life cycle of fish. It is very simple. It starts from egg. A baby come out from this egg, and the name of this baby is called Fry. After a few days, this fry change into an adult. The next life cycle of a frog. Frog has a number of changes in their body, and they spend their life on 2 places. As their life passes in 2 places, that is water and then on land, so this is called the amphibian. Amphibians are those living things, or those vertebrates which spend their life in 2 places, that are land and water. So frog their start their life by laying eggs in the water. Their eggs are jelly like. They need water. Because if they lay eggs on the land, their eggs may be dry out, and the embryo inside the egg may die, so it goes into the water for laying the eggs. After releasing a baby from the egg, and the name of this small creature which released from the egg is called tadpole. At this stage, when the tadpole releases from the egg, it is just like a fish. For breathing, it uses gills, and for moving, it has tail, and it doesn't resemble its adult parent. But as time passes, their body develops certain structure in them, and some of the structures disappear from their body. So the first thing is that they develop the forelimbs and hind limbs. Their front legs and back legs are developed. The tail gradually disappear, and the gills disappear, and inside the body lungs develop for the breathing. As these structures develop in them, so it is ready to leave the water and comes on the land, and it start their life on the land, and they are able to eat on the land also by catching the insects, as it has very special tongue, and it has sticky substance on the tongue which it use for catching the insects. So frog is called amphibian. It start their life from water and then comes on the land. Eggs hatches out a tadpole. Tadpole changes into a froglet, then froglet change into an adult, and it is ready to live on the land. So this was about the life cycle of the frog, how it started from the egg and changed into an adult. Now the life cycle of butterfly. Butterfly also have same series of changes. Butterfly lay their eggs on the leaves. Caterpillar hatches out from it. As soon as it hatches out from the egg, it start feeding, and it increase in the length. But after a few days, it stop feeding. It don't take much of the food now further. It stop feeding, and then it start making covering around themselves. This covering is called cocoon. Inside the cocoon, there is a present caterpillar which changes in their which has some changes in their body. Their feelers and wings are developed, and after a few days an adult butterfly releases out from this cocoon, and the name of this stage is pupa, and pupa releases an adult butterfly. Now next is the life cycle of a bean plant, and this is the life cycle of flowering plant, which is similar to the non-flowering plant. Also has the same life cycle. The life of plants start from seed. When we put the seed in the soil, it releases root and the shoot along with tiny leaves. This is called the seedling. After a few days, this seedling change into an adult plant. An adult plant bears the flowers, and flowers change into fruit, and inside the fruit we again obtain the seed. Same type of life cycle is present in non-flowering also, but they don't have flower stage, and they at this stage they bear cone-like structure in which seeds are produced. Human look similar but have variations. Human beings are similar to each other, as all of us have two legs and two hands, but still we are different from each other. We look different from each other, and such type of differences are called variations. Humans inherit these variations from their parents. Some of them may from their father and some of them from their mother. They are not the exact copies of their parents, but they have certain changes from them. They have certain differences from them, which may be hidden in their parents but become dominant in the parents. Plants and animals also inherit characteristics from their parents, but they are the exact copies of their parents. Now today we are going to do the written work. So ready your neat copies. Draw the margin line, write down today's date, and at the top write unit 4 question answers. Now write down the on the next line write the question. Give 2 examples of how plants and animals rely on each other. Now you are going to divide the page into 2 halves and make a line in the center. Give the heading of plants on one side and animals on the other side, and you should write the points in front of each other. Now plants, first point is plants provide food and shelter for the animals. Plants provide food and shelter for the animals. Point number 2, plants also provide oxygen for the animals. Plants also provide oxygen for the animals. Now give the heading of animals on the other side. Now animals provide carbon dioxide to the plants for photosynthesis, which they breathe out during the respiration. Animals also provide manure to the plant. Animals also provide manure to the plant. Plants provide food and shelter for the animals. Plants also provide oxygen for animals. Animals provide carbon dioxide to the plants for photosynthesis. Animals also provide manure to the plants. On the new page, write question number 2. Explain how you know that humans are different species to other animals. Write down the answers. Humans are different species from other animals due to the following reasons. Humans are different species from other animals due to the following reasons: clothing, complex reasoning, speech, and feelings. Now draw the ending line. Come to your book exercise. The first question is fill in the blanks. Humans and other animals take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Plants make their own food by a process called photosynthesis. All living things do the following. A है, this is excrete. B, respire. C, eat. D. Have sensitivity. E. Move. F. Grow. R. Reproduce. Plants and animals depends on each other. Plants produce oxygen, which is in the air we breathe in. Next is the written word. In today's diary, write the answers of the following questions in the classwork copy. Question number 1. Give 2 examples of how plants and animals rely on each other. Question number 2. Explain how do you know that humans are different species to the other animals. Thank you, boys.